Growing Pains. Hey, I'm Ray of Sunshine. I'm so glad you're here with me today. We're going to talk about growing pains. That's one of the reasons you're here. A couple of other reasons too, which I'll get to in a minute. But first, I want to tell you, I want to welcome you here, especially if it's your first time. Probably somebody sent you this video, so we're going to talk about that in a second too. But here I am in my kitchen. This is actually the second time. I've done a number of these videos, and so this is the second one now over the whole series where I've done in my kitchen. The first time, the reason for it really, well, because, I had done a lot of videos outdoors, and then it was starting, the season was changing, it was getting cold, and I was moving indoors, but also I had to burn something at the stove, because it's kind of a lot of whacked out things that do go on in this program, and that was so that that's just one example. I have tons of examples in all my previous videos, so that's one of the other reasons that you are here, is because there's a message over there for you. There's differences, there's changes, there's differences, and so that's what I want to show you in the representation. This whole video series represents life, and today I'm going to talk about some of the difficulties that we go through in life sometime, and the growing pains. When I was a child, some days were more difficult than others, and I remember my mother saying, "It's growing pains." So, and I don't know, I guess it made me feel a little better, like, oh, growing pains, there's a name for it and everything, so I guess it's normal, I guess it's okay, I guess it's what we go through. And that's what we're going through now, because as human beings, we change. There's always something changing, right? Now things are changing fast. There's changes, there's differences, so there's a lot of different happening, lots of different that we're not used to. There's changes, there's differences. So that's what I show in my earlier videos. So I want you to go back to one of the way early videos, okay? And just make one commitment. Whichever one you pick, it could be a 15-second one, there's 1-minute ones, there's 50. You might pick the one that's 25 minutes and 26 seconds. Whichever one you pick, just watch the whole thing and then come back here. Or, you can finish this one and then go watch one of those. But you want to watch one of those because you want to see that difference. But there's also messages. There's a message back there for you. And the reason I know that is because I put them there. So that's one of the requests that I have for you to get the most out of this program. And the other one is to share this video, just like probably somebody shared it with you. And the idea is we're all trying to get on the same page here now as we move into this new energy. And so the easiest way for you to do that is just share this video with somebody else. You don't even have to open your mouth. Although, I want to talk about a lot of the things that I have learned from other people's opening their mouths, and I'm going to share that with you here. The one thing that I pay attention to, no matter where I get these messages from, wherever I get this information from, the first thing, it has to make sense. And so I'm going to take all the stuff that makes sense, and I'm going to funnel it to you, and you're going to find they're going to make sense. And I don't have any reason to not tell you the truth. So that's the other thing about my program. It's always going to be the truth. So the truth is that we're going through difficulties. It's been a time of unprecedented change. There's changes, there's differences in our entire civilization. So I've had days, I've had times I'm feeling fragmented, I'm feeling bewildered, uninspired, flat, unmotivated, all that kind of stuff. Days that are just off kilter. And days that are just, I have a brighter outlook and things look great and I'm feeling happy and bouncy and all that kind of stuff. So there's been that kind of roller coaster thing going on. But that's what happened. The reason most of us go on an activity such as a roller coaster is because of the thrill of it. It's scary, it's intimidating, it makes us nervous, whatever it is, it's exciting. And there's a thrill to it with all of that. Come on. And so we are going through the most thrilling episode in the history of our entire civilization. As human beings, we generally progress. That's our MO. and we elevate, we advance. We're not going back to horse and buggies anytime soon. Let's put it that way, right? So that's what we do. We advance, and we're in a pace, a very fast, and we're moving into unknown territory. There were times when I went through difficulty. There's changes, there's differences. Like, this is the time of difficulty too, but we all have times where there's changes, there's differences, there's no light. Zero light at the end of the tunnel. And so when I think of those times, I think about how I used to look at it as a punishment. Why me? Why would this happen to me? In fact, why me? That's the name of my very first pilot video. Why me? That's the one that's 25 minutes and 26 seconds. So you could check that one out. My saving grace was hope. Because even when I gave up hope, even when there was not even a pinpoint of light at the end of the tunnel, somehow I managed to scoop up, to hold on to a sliver of hope, just a little glimmer of hope, as small as it was, as difficult as it was to perceive, enough hope. I hope that tomorrow I'll have more hope. And so what happened was, that sliver of hope expanded into 2 slivers of hope. And that became 3 slivers, and that became a whole pile of slivers. And the more slivers made it into a bigger pile of slivers. So can you picture it? A pile of slivers. So add some more slivers. Add some more slivers of hope to that little pile of hope. And keep adding the slivers. And do you have a tree yet? A sapling, maybe? But keep adding some slivers. Add more slivers. And add some more slivers of hope. Before you know it, you don't even realize it's happening, because it's happening one sliver at a time. But then it's this big, enormous, giant sliver of hope, world of hope. So growing pains. I've been through growing pains before, and going through growing pains now. But it's our chance to discover different, to discover how we deal with discovering different. So you can see that in my videos. You're going to see that process. Right now, I'm going through a different format. And you've probably, so in the end of the J section, so there's going to be a little bit of an overlap with some of the themes and some of the formats in the earlier Ray of Sunshine videos. But that's what life is like. The new world, whatever the concept of the new energy, the age of Aquarius, the golden age, all of those kind of terms that people are using now to describe this period of enlightenment, advancement. Some people call it ascension. All of that kind of, it's fast-paced. We know that, and it's changing, and we know that, and it's different, and we know that. So you're going to see that. You're going to see that in the formats of all my different videos, and that's what's happening in this particular video right now. So I'm just telling you that because what happened in some of the I think it was the whole previous section, the I section, I think so. The backgrounds were changing and things like that. So, and that's been fading out, but that might still happen a little bit. It's very unpredictable. The future is unpredictable. Yeah, see? That's what I mean. And in case you can't see me, I'll tell you what's going on. Now I am surrounded by this enormous dragonfly. And I was just sitting in my kitchen with drawings from my granddaughter all over my fridge. Now there's a big dragonfly hovering all over me. There's a point. The point is, expect the unexpected. Get used to different. Get used to dealing with different. And realize why it's there, what it's there for. It's so that we can discover the different in us. We can allow ourselves to blossom. There's changes, there's differences. One thing that is predictable about it is that it can only get better. If we choose to see it that way, it's a choice, it's a decision. And it's our choice to create it. It's our time of blossoming. It's our time to blossom. It's playtime. Create you. It's our time of blossoming. And don't forget to share this video so we get all the other sunflowers to blossom with us. It's playtime. Create you.